If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Returning violence for violence multiplies violence, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. The silence of the good people is more dangerous than the brutality of the bad people. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. It is always the right time to do the right thing. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice. A man dies when he refuses to take a stand for that which is true. A productive and happy life is not something you find, it is something you make. Never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of a person or animal is at stake. Society's punishments are small compared to the wounds we inflict on our soul when we look the other way. It's not the violence of the few that scares me. It's the silence of the many. Not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great. Because greatness is determined by service. Men often hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they cannot communicate. They cannot communicate because they are separated. The best way to solve any problem is to remove its cause. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Let's build bridges, not walls. Use me, God. Show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. The difference between a dreamer and a visionary is that a dreamer has his eyes closed, and a visionary has his eyes open. Perhaps the worst sin in life is knowing right and not doing it. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies but the silence of our friends. Peace is not simply the absence of conflict, but the existence of justice for all people. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Never forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. I agree with Dante that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in a period of moral crisis maintain their neutrality. There comes a time when silence becomes betrayal. The richer we have become materially, the poorer we become morally and spiritually. We have learned to fly in the air like birds and swim in the sea like fish, but we have not learned the simple art of living together as brothers. You can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Courage is an inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. Cowardice is submissive surrender to circumstances. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. We live in a world of guided missiles and misguided men. Our children need our presence, not our presence. Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in health care is the most shocking and inhumane. There is nothing new about poverty. What is new, however, is that we have the resources to get rid of it. Everybody can be great, because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace. A soul generated by love. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. We must learn to live together as brothers, or perish together as fools. The time is always right to do what is right. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into friend. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Rarely do we find men who willingly engage in hard, solid thinking. There is an almost universal quest for easy answers and half-baked solutions. Nothing pains some people more than having to think. We must face the appalling fact that we have been betrayed by both the Democratic and Republican parties. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it. To ignore evil is to become an accomplice to it. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. It does not matter how long you live, but how well you do it. We must learn that passively to accept an unjust system is to cooperate with that system, and thereby to become a participant in its evil. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred.